Warsaw, September 19, 1940. A man kisses his wife goodbye, then his two children. He tells them he'll be back soon. He's lying, and they don't know it yet. His name is Witold Pilecki. He's 39 years old, a cavalry officer, a farmer, the kind of father who teaches his kids to ride horses and paint watercolors. He walks out the door with forged identity papers in his pocket. The name on them, Tomasz Serafiński. Not his name, not his life, but it will have to be. Down the street, German soldiers are rounding up civilians. Anyone they can grab. A łapanka, a street sweep. Most people run. Pilecki walks toward it, on purpose. He's about to do something no one in history has ever done. He's going to volunteer for Auschwitz. Not escape from it, volunteer for it.
2 days later, he's in a truck with 2,000 other Poles. No food, no water, no idea where they're going. Pilecki knows. He planned this. As the countryside rolls past and the truck turns east, he's already thinking about what comes next. Survive, organize, report. Get the truth out. Make the world act. September 22, 1940. The gates open. The guards are shouting. Some men are executed on arrival as a warning. The survivors are herded past the barbed wire. A man in stripes takes Pilecki's name and gives him a number instead. Prisoner 4859. He's in. The next 2.5 years, the world is about to learn what Auschwitz really is. Because Pilecki is going to tell them. Over and over. In detail. With proof. The question is, will anyone listen?
The first night, Pilecki learns the rules. There are no rules, just survival. A man dies in the bunk next to him. Another loses his mind by morning. The guards routinely abused prisoners, including beatings. The camp is new. It opened just months ago. It's not yet the death factory it will become. Right now, it's a prison for Polish political prisoners. But it's already designed to break you. Starvation rations, freezing cold, endless labor hauling rocks from one pile to another and back again. And everywhere, the constant promise. Any deviation could be deadly. Pilecki doesn't break. He watches. He learns. He waits. After a few weeks, he starts to move, carefully. A nod to another prisoner. A quiet word in the yard. Can you be trusted? Are you strong enough? Do you want to fight back? He finds 4 others. A doctor named Władysław Daring, who works in the camp hospital. A lieutenant colonel. A captain. 2 more. They call themselves the High Five. Each man recruits 4 more. Those men recruit 4 more. None of them knows the others. That's the point. If one cell breaks under interrogation, the rest survive. They call the network ZOW, the Union of Military Organization. Their mission? Help prisoners survive. Gather intelligence. Send it out. And prepare, just in case the Allies ever come. Here's how they do it. The camp hospital becomes the center. Every morning, hundreds of sick and dying prisoners line up outside. Only a few get in. Daring and his ZOW members decide who lives. Not randomly, strategically. Who can we save? Who matters to the network? Who will help the mission? When the SS orders selections, when they come to take prisoners to be killed, ZOW gets people released from the hospital early. Saves them, one by one. There's a German prisoner named Otto Kussel, prisoner number 2, a criminal, green triangle. He controls job assignments. If you get the right job, you live a little longer. The wrong job, you're dead in 3 weeks. ZOW turns him. Kussel starts helping Poles survive. In December 1942, he'll even escape with 3 of them. A German criminal risking his life to save Poles, because one man saw another and decided to be human. On the wall of Block 15, the camp authorities hang a wooden box, a denunciation box. Prisoners inform on each other. Drop a card inside with a name. Zhao forges a key. Every few days they open the box, pull the cards, burn them. When a card is signed, they know who the traitor is. Sometimes that traitor is quietly removed. And then there's the radio. For 7 months, Zhao smuggles in parts. A wire here, a tube there. Piece by piece they build a shortwave transmitter, hidden somewhere near the hospital. At night, when the camp is quiet, they broadcast. 3 short bursts. Numbers, deaths, arrivals, conditions. The signal reaches London. It runs until autumn 1942. Then someone talks. The paranoia gets too thick. They dismantle it before the SS finds it. But by then, the damage is done. The world is starting to hear. Other methods stay simpler. The SS uses Polish prisoners to take laundry into town. Zhao tucks messages into the dirty uniforms. The laundry workers pass them to contacts outside. The contacts pass them to Warsaw. They're everywhere. In the administration offices, the supply depots. Even among the Sonderkommando, the prisoners forced to operate a crematoria. The Gestapo knows there's a resistance. They just can't find it. And all this time, Pilecki is writing it down, memorizing it, preparing to send it out. October 1940, 1 month after Pilecki arrives. A prisoner is released, paid off by his family. Before he leaves, Pilecki pulls him aside, gives him a report, not on paper, in his head. Memorize this: the beatings, the starvation, the layout, the numbers, get it to Warsaw. The man does. The report goes from Warsaw to the Home Army, from the Home Army to the Polish government in exile in London, from London to the British. March 18th, 1941. 6 months after Pilecki walked into Auschwitz, the first detailed report lands on British desks. It describes a camp designed to exterminate people through labor and cruelty. It's not yet the full picture, but it's the beginning. More reports follow. Released prisoners, escaped prisoners, bribed guards, civilian workers. The information gets sharper, the picture gets darker. By mid-1942, the camp is changing. What started as a prison for Polish politicals is becoming something else. Transports are arriving, mostly Jews. They're not being registered. They're going straight to the gas chambers. In May 1942, Pilecki briefs 2 prisoners preparing to escape. He tells them what to carry. Mass killing of Jews. Children and the elderly killed on arrival. The young worked to death. Get this to London. Immediately. Then comes June 20th, 1942. The escape that sounds impossible. 4 prisoners, Kazimierz Piechowski and 3 others, break into an SS storeroom. They steal uniforms, weapons, keys. Then they steal Commandant Rudolf Herz's personal car, a Steyr 220. They put on the uniforms, drive to the main gate, in broad daylight. The guard sees 4 SS officers in a staff car. He salutes. The gate opens. They drive into the night. One of them is carrying Pilecki's latest report. The reports keep piling up in London, Warsaw, Stockholm. Polish underground presses start printing booklets, some of the first to use the word Auschwitz for what it's becoming. In 1944, 2 more prisoners escape, Rudolf Werber and Alfred Wetzler. They produce what will be called the Auschwitz Protocols. Detailed, precise, calm in a way that makes it worse. All of this reaches the Allies. The Polish government in exile believes Pilecki. The British read the reports. The Americans get copies. Pilecki hears this through the camp grapevine. He hears the reports made it out. He hears people are reading them. He doesn't hear about planes. June 1944. John Pelly runs the War Refugee Board in Washington. He forwards a request to the War Department. Jewish organizations are asking, can we bomb Auschwitz? The gas chambers? the rail lines. The request lands on the desk of Assistant Secretary of War John J. McCloy. McCloy's staff sends him a note. Kill this. July 4th, 1944. McCloy writes back. The operation, he says, is impracticable, too far, too risky, would require diverting air support from decisive operations. Not worth it. August 14. Another request. Same answer. Doubtful efficacy. November 8th. Pelly tries one last time. He's just read the full Auschwitz protocols. He knows what's happening. He asks again. November 18. McCloy's final response. The War Department has felt that it should not, at least for the present, undertake these operations. 3 times. 3 refusals. The same word every time. Impracticable. Now. Look up. August 20th, 1944. Over 100 American B-17 flying fortresses fly towards southern Poland. Their target, the IG Farben synthetic oil plant at Monowitz, part of the Auschwitz complex. They drop over 1,000 bombs. The plant takes massive damage. Smoke rises for miles. The ground shakes. September 13. They come back. Hit it again. This time, bombs accidentally hit the SS barracks at Birkenau. There are casualties among SS personnel. December 26th. 2 more raids. Same target. 4 raids. Thousands of bombs, all within 5 kilometers of the killing facilities. 3 miles. The pilots can see Birkenau from their bomb bays. Reconnaissance photos capture it all. The crematoria, the killing facilities, the rail lines leading in. But the orders never come. Bomb the factory. Do not strike the killing facilities. Do not hit the rails. Because a man at a desk in Washington wrote the word impracticable. Here's what that word meant in the summer of 1944. Between May and July, Hungary deports 440,000 Jewish people to Auschwitz. Most are killed on arrival in the camp's killing facilities. As many as 10,000 people per day. Every single day. For weeks. The transports do not stop. The trains keep coming. The killing operations continue. By the end of the war, 1.3 million people will be sent to Auschwitz. 1.1 million will be murdered. The gap between those numbers, 200,000, that's not statistics. That's people. Walking off trains, standing on a ramp, sorted on arrival for forced labor or immediate killing. Inside the War Department, impracticable feels careful, responsible, strategic. Inside Auschwitz, it's the sound of rails at night, constant smoke, the logistics of the killing operations. It is not that the bombers couldn't reach Auschwitz. They were already there, flying overhead, taking pictures. It's that the people who could give the order chose not to. That choice has a weight, and history doesn't let you put it down. Spring 1943. The Gestapo is closing in. They've arrested ZOW members, tortured them, killed them. The network is compromised. 4 massive crematoria are now operational at Birkenau. The killing was systematic and industrial in scale. Pilecki makes a calculation. The intelligence mission is done. The world has the evidence. What it needs now is someone on the outside who can make the case face to face. Someone who can say, I was there. I saw it. Here's what you need to do. There's one place in Auschwitz where the wire doesn't surround you. The camp bakery. It sits just outside the main fence. Pilecki gets himself assigned there. He brings 2 others, Jan Redze and Edward Ciesielski. Quiet men. Solid. They watch the guards, learn the routines, wait for the shift when exhaustion is thicker than darkness. April 26, 1943. Night. They have one chance. If the alarm sounds, they would be killed. A small tool, a door that sticks, wire cutters, telephone lines severed, alarm lines cut. The door gives. 10 steps, the longest distance any of them have ever walked. They move fast, silent. Every shadow could be a guard. Every sound could be a dog. Hours pass. They cross fields, wade through ditches, slide under fences. 100 kilometers on foot. A week of walking. Finally, they reach a safe house, a place called Koryznovka. White walls, a kitchen, a couple who run the local resistance. Pilecki knocks, asks for the deputy commander. "I'm Tomasz Serafiński," Pilecki smiles. That's the name he's been using for 3 years, the fake identity. He's been borrowing this man's name the whole time. They let him stay. For months, Pilecki writes, everything. 2.5 years inside Auschwitz, distilled into 100 pages. Report W. Witold's report. He includes the thing that hurts the most. Recommendations. Target the rail lines. Target the killing facilities. Strike during shift change when the guards are distracted. And if prisoners die in the blast, he writes this carefully, it will still save more lives than it costs. He gives the real Serafiński his name back. He keeps the mission. August 1943. Pilecki reaches Warsaw. The Home Army gives him a new name, Roman Jerzewski. He works with the sabotage units, helps families of Auschwitz prisoners, sends money and support back into the camp however he can. He also does something else, something quieter. He channels resistance funds to Jewish families hiding in the city. Helps a woman named Barbara Newelly. Her husband is Jewish and she's being blackmailed. Pilecki pays off the blackmailer. The blackmailer disappears. Pilecki doesn't talk about it. While the War Department debates what's practicable, Pilecki does what's possible. In spring 1944, he joins a secret group called NIE, No in Polish, short for independence. They're preparing to resist the next occupation, the Soviet one. August 1st, 1944. Warsaw rises. The city decides it won't wait for liberation. It will free itself. Pilecki joins the fight, first as a regular soldier, keeps his rank hidden. Then, when officers start dying, he takes command. His unit holds a section of the city for 2 months, street by street, building by building. Friends die beside him. The city he loves is burning. October 2nd, 1944. The uprising collapses. Pilecki is captured, sent to a German POW camp in Bavaria. April 29, 1945. American troops liberate the camp. Pilecki is free. He could stay in the West, build a new life, forget Poland. He doesn't. July 1945. He joins the Polish forces in Italy. By October, his commanders have a mission for him. Go back to Poland. See what the Soviets are doing. Report back. It's insane. Poland is now under Soviet control. The secret police are everywhere. If they catch him, he's dead. Pilecki says yes. Late 1945. He crosses back into Poland, uses a false name, works as a jeweler, a bottle label painter, a warehouse manager. He watches. He listens. He reports. By mid-1946, the secret police know who he is. Friends beg him to run. The border is close. He can still make it. He refuses. May 8, 1947. They come for him. The Ministry of Public Security drags him to Mokotów prison. For months, they subject him to severe abuse and deprivation, including torture. They want names. He protects his comrades. They shove papers in front of him, confessions already written. He signs some of them, not because they're true, because he's too exhausted to read them, because he thinks he can retract them later. He can't. His wife visits him once. He tells her, "I can't live anymore. They've done me." Compared to them, Auschwitz was just a trifle. March 3rd, 1948. The trial begins. The prosecutor, Major Czesław Łapinski. The charges: espionage for foreign powers, planning assassinations, illegal border crossings, carrying weapons. One of the witnesses is Józef Cyrankiewicz, Prime Minister of Poland, also an Auschwitz survivor, the man who should understand. He testifies against Pilecki. Pilecki admits he passed intelligence to the Polish forces in exile. He considers himself an officer. He doesn't think that's a crime. He denies everything else. It doesn't matter. The verdict was decided before the trial started.
May 15, 1948. Death sentence. Appeals for clemency flood in. Auschwitz survivors, his family, his lawyer, all ignored. Cyrankiewicz, the Auschwitz survivor, the Prime Minister, writes a note. Pilecki must be treated harshly as an enemy of the state. May 25, 1948, 9:30 p.m. Mokotów prison. A small room. Witnesses, a prosecutor, a doctor, a priest, the prison commandant. The executioner is a notorious prison official. Pilecki's last words, "Long live free Poland." He is executed. They bury him in secret, probably in Powązki Cemetery. An unmarked grave. No headstone. No record. The state erases him. For 40 years, mentioning his name is illegal. His children, Zofia and Andrzej, grow up believing their father was a traitor. They hear about his trial on the school radio. They carry that shame for decades. The ground keeps the secret, but not forever. The Soviet Union collapses. The Iron Curtain falls. Poland is free again. October 1, 1990. The Supreme Court of Poland meets, reopens the case, reviews the evidence. Verdict: Witold Pilecki is innocent, acquitted of all charges. The state admits it was wrong. He receives the Order of Polonia Restituta, posthumously. The Order of the White Eagle, Poland's highest honor. Promoted to colonel. The government establishes the Pilecki Institute, a center for studying resistance against totalitarianism. Streets are named after him, schools, squares. His face appears on stamps, in textbooks. His children, now elderly, watch as their father's name is restored. The man they were taught to be ashamed of is now a national hero. Truth took 40 years, but it arrived. There's an argument people make. Would bombing Auschwitz have even worked? Would it have saved anyone, or just killed prisoners? Pilecki's answer was blunt. Even if prisoners died, a strike might save more than it costs. You don't have to agree with him, but consider what was happening while people debated. Summer 1944, 10,000 people per day arriving at Auschwitz, sorted on arrival. Many killed immediately in the camp's killing facilities. The transports did not pause for meetings. The killing operations did not wait for memos. But here's the other question. What did Pilecki do when the world didn't act? He volunteered to walk into hell, built a resistance where the whole point was to crush resistance, turned a death camp into an intelligence operation, escaped, wrote it all down, fought in an uprising, went back into Soviet-controlled Poland knowing they'd kill him. At every turn, the easy choice was to stop, to say, "I've done enough. Someone else's turn." He never stopped. He started believing that evidence compels action, that if you tell the truth loud enough, the world will listen. He learned that sometimes it doesn't, so he became the action himself. That's the transformation. Not learning to be brave, he already was. Learning where courage has to go when the institutions say no. Return to the memo. The word impracticable. It's such a safe word. It closes a door quietly, preserves resources. Sounds reasonable. Now put that word next to a man who walked into Auschwitz on purpose, who built a network under the eyes of gods trained to see everything, who carried the truth out and then kept fighting for 5 more years, who died in a basement for a country that called him a traitor, then spent 40 years buried in an unmarked grave, then rose again when the truth finally broke through.
That's not impracticable. That's practical courage. The record still exists. Report W, the Auschwitz protocols, the testimonies. Anyone can read them. The temperature changes when you do. The debate about the bombing will continue. It should. History doesn't hand out easy answers. But the story of Witold Pilecki isn't about what could have been. It's about what one man did when no one else would. The arc is simple. He believed evidence would make them act. They didn't act, so he became the evidence. He walked in, he walked out. He never stopped.
Prisoner 4859, Witold Pilecki.